I noticed an interesting quote in the book Lost Stars that I think lines up with something we've seen recently in the Andor show. In the book Lost Stars, one of the protagonists, Thane Kyrell, who is a member of the Rebel Alliance, gets very drunk and vents a lot of his problems to an unknown woman. The protagonist was drunk, so he couldn't tell who this mystery woman was that was helping him drunkenly get back to his room. As he continued to vent about his problems to this mystery woman, he lets slip that the person he is in love with is an Imperial, and of course meanwhile he is a rebel. The woman helps Thane get into his bed and then leaves his room. The next day, Thane attends a rebel briefing, and to his horror, realizes that the woman who had helped him drunkenly find his way back to his room, the woman that he had told that he was in love with an Imperial, was none other than Mon Mothma. Thane felt absolutely embarrassed. After the briefing, Mon Mothma pulled Thane aside to have a serious discussion with him now that he was sober. Mothma was very understanding of Thane's predicament, and told him that she wasn't upset with him. In fact, Mon Mothma told Thane that the real issue was that he was questioning himself. She says that self-doubt will cripple you more than fear ever could. She tells Thane that it is all right that he loves someone on the other side of the war, but so long as he loves what he is fighting for more. Having looked at this passage after watching Andor, I was reminded of Mon Mothma's decision to do a deal with the banker, Davo Skolden, who had asked Mothma to introduce her daughter to his son as the price of doing business with him. Davo didn't demand any kind of prearranged marriage, but it was definitely hinted at that Davo wanted it to go that way. He seemed to want his son and Mon Mothma's daughter to become married via a Chandrilan custom, something that abhorred Mon Mothma. However, we find out that she does indeed go through with this, as in order to protect herself and the early rebellion against the Empire, she needed to do business with Davo Skolden. So, to connect this with the quote from Lost Stars, Mon Mothma didn't want to hurt her daughter, but she felt that the rebellion against the Empire was too important to pass up the opportunity. As the quote said, so long as she loves what she is fighting for more. To take it a step further, for the rest of the quote, which said, "It is okay to love someone on the other side of the war," I imagine this can be applied to her daughter, and possibly to Perrin, her husband, though to a much lesser extent. They don't seem very imperial, but they definitely don't support Mothma's political goals. So in that sense, they could be seen as people on the other side of the war, so to speak. I don't completely condone what Mon Mothma did with her daughter, but in all fairness, it almost looked like her daughter was actually okay with going through with meeting Davo's son, and potentially marrying him. As an audience member, it's not what I want to see happen, but looking at Mon's sacrifice, it almost seems like she is a little bit vindicated, or let off the hook, emotionally speaking, because of how willing her daughter seems. I don't know, I suppose Season 2 will show us more, but considering that the book Lost Stars takes place well after the events of the show, I wonder if Mon Mothma's quote about loving what you're fighting for more is any hint of what's to come. If nothing else, the quote just seemed like a cool connection to the show, and was more than likely just an interesting coincidence. That's it for this video though. Thank you for stopping by, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one.